Alright, so today we're doing something a little bit different. So I've read ahead to the later chapters where she goes back, as it says here, quite a bit in history. And so, naturally, we get some of these sort of archaic sounding poetic phrases. So the person who is saying this character, he's supposed to be an Kun opera singer. So this is supposed to be one of the lines in his collection of songs. Now it's quite obvious when I first read just the first these lines here. So I can see that it's most likely not an authentic piece. I didn't have to search to find it because the way I know is the rhyming scheme only works in standard Mandarin, the contemporary Mandarin that is officially used in China and in Taiwan, amongst other places. Now, if we were to use any southern dialects to pronounce these words, they would not rhyme, in fact. So I speak Cantonese, and if we read this in Cantonese, this mu and du would not rhyme, only in Mandarin. As you can see here as well, the same scheme is used. Mu, shu, ku, chu, zhu, lu. Okay, but again, these don't rhyme in Old Chinese. Okay, anyhow, so that means actually it's going to be quite easy to translate them because the writer is a contemporary writer. And the syntax used, or the grammar in plain terms, the syntax would be more easy to understand for us as well because the writer has to first of all understand what he or she is writing. And the words used by her would also be quite easy for us to understand. Because any given Hanzi could have multiple meanings given the time period of the speaker. But luckily for us, the writer is a contemporary speaker, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Anyhow, let us begin. So we find out later that this collection of songs is called Xingyu Tang, I believe, or Xingyu something. And it's because he met someone special under this Xing Hua Shu. So let's get to it. The first line, Xing Hua Anqian. So my guess is that this is a place. And he means in front of this place. If I'm not mistaken, this means morning and night, meaning all day long. Let's just confirm that. Okay, seems like right, okay. So that basically confirms my suspicions. Now let's see if this is a real. Seems no. Which means that we can probably just translate it as is. So let's try this. So xing, yes, it's a type of plum or apricot, more specifically. So we can say it's an apricot flower. And an usually is a place for sort of Taoist, temple. Okay. Though I don't think it's exactly the same as Si Miao. An is probably a specific type of 女性, exactly. Okay. So interesting that he's saying it is a... So I guess the equivalent is almost nunnery. Okay, so how about let's go with that. Of the apricots, maybe. Okay. I want to try maybe like this. How does that sound before the apricot nunnery? Day and night. 往来白丁. Again, it's quite easy for us to understand. Oops. Oops. Illiterate. Seems a little harsh. Illiterates. 哪看度? Wait, let me see. Is it na or na? Na. Yes, it's a question. Let's open a new tab for this. So it should be this one. 怎么能如何能妒忌, I guess. Perhaps this means that they're not worth his jealousy. Now we're not sure. I'm not sure who this specific person is. There is no such person mentioned later as well. Not worthy of jazz. Envy. So it seems like these two match in terms of structure. So we can assume that this would be of Ling Yumu would be sort of a clause or phrase, if you can call it. Okay. 时人不识. Okay, so like the people at the time didn't recognize that this tree was going to reach the skies, and only when it did reach the skies did they say, wow, it's really tall. Okay. So I guess it should be 松树 maybe. Okay. 折桂. 获得第一. 红颜. Again, it's this using feminine terms. 特指女子, right. So how is it possible that a woman takes first place in the